So on the brink of death, I still manage living life, because so rarely in this world are these chances given twice. Deed sold my soul without glancing at the price. No instructions when I was handed this device, but with what I did get, I was more than generous. Put several over self on several instances, but I'm back on my feet without a hint of bitterness, man. One way or another, I shall have deliverance, so I say. I've been traveling for some time.
For some time. Welcome to the C Train Station.
Welcome to C Train Station. Woo woo. Oh, and we are taking a pit stop with PLB. PLB, say what's up to everybody.
What's up? Welcome back. Thanks for having me. C Train.
Yes, absolutely.
Glad to be here.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. This is what a wonderful place to be. C Train Station in the morning. Everybody's got their coffee. I got my coffee.
Oh, here we go.
Look at that. I got my Golden State Warriors branded coffee.
Always
Look at the way that I'm holding my coffee mug right now. What's that? What is
Ninja
that?
Turtle?
How about that? Maybe a little bit less Ninja Turtle. Maybe a little bit more like
maybe you want to put the pinky out?
Humanoid. Oh, I got the pinky out. I got the pinky out for the...
There we go.
That's my loony pinky right there. That's the loony pinky because he's been so dominant. All right. Let's check back at this game. We're going to go right now. Game 2. Western Conference Finals. It was the Warriors versus the Mavs. Let's get a little bit of the score, and then we're going to get some stats, and we're going to analyze and just give our thoughts on this game. Warriors won 126-117 at Chase Center in San Francisco. Oh my gosh, the Mavs started out hot. White hot.
What a game. What a game, man.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, with this, before we have like a method to this madness at C Train Station, but real quick before I do have to say something about this game, and I haven't told you this, PLB, at all. So, we talk off of the street, everybody.
Absolutely.
But one of the things is I'm not even. This is like honest. Is that like the Warriors team showed a heck of a lot of heart and resolve in this game. They had a lot of opportunities to like not quit, but like pack it in. They were. It was one of those really tough games. They fouled too much, whether they had calls against them or for them, it doesn't matter. They were fouling too much and they were committing too many turnovers in the beginning, specifically Draymond Green, with like 3 or 4 in maybe the first quarter.
Playing too much emotion.
Yeah, it was
emotion.
Exactly. It was like too much emotion. I mean, if you play reserved, right, and you play locked in, the crowd, that Chase Center will provide that emotional contagion. So you stay locked. Yep. So PLB, give us a couple. What we're gonna do here at C Train Station? We have a couple stats, each of us, PLB and myself, that really resonated with this game. We're gonna start with PLB. What statistic from the game really resonated with you?
Man, rebounds and the lack thereof for the Mavericks.
Yes.
First times throughout the game, I saw them just standing on the 3-point line. Even Max Keebler just out there, and he's their big guy.
Yeah.
Like, send the other 4 down court, let him at least try to grab a rebound. So, I mean, too many times they got out rebounded, at least by 4 on the offensive board. I think it was like right around 10-13 overall.
Wow.
Got out rebounded. So that right there is a huge swing in the game. Otherwise, they matched up pretty fairly. Like, if it was a boxing match, it would have been a slugfest going back and forth, but weakness in my point.
100%. 100%. And to add on to that 100, just to let everybody know, I'm ready to play. Coach Kerr, I'm ready to play. You don't need me or anything like that. That's why I'm wearing my old school Piedmont Highlander warm-ups right there. I'm ready to
throwback.
play. I got my basketball going on. This is from Earl the Goat, Man and Goat, actually, in his movie. He did this thing. I do it now. It looks cool. It looks cooler with like a big basketball, but that's why I'm ready to play, baby. I got my kicks on. I got my pumped up kicks. Let's go. Let's
and
go.
It's 90% mental for you, man. Let's go. Let's get this.
Yes. But I totally agree with the rebounding. And here's another thing. The Mavs have pretty much dictated to themselves. I mean, honestly, through Coach Kidd, we talked about this in the first, in our first cast as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what's going to happen? Will Jason Kidd be able to modify his game plan? So far, he hasn't really done it. They're more
in
like
between games. He has when he has time. He has, but on the fly, it's been.
And when you're dying,
second half or at halftime, you knew the Mavericks or you knew the Warriors were going to come out and change their game plan.
Yep.
Well, why didn't Jason Kidd have like a plan B? Like, hey, they're going to come out and do this. Let's stop attacking Kevin Looney.
It's chess, man. It's not this jizz ain't checkers. It's chess, man. That's like what I'm pretty sure that's like a Denzel quote from Training Day right there. Like, but man, to add on to your rebounding stat, they're going to shoot. The Mavs are going to shoot a bunch of 3-pointers. It just looks like they're going to do that, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you? Okay, so if you're going to shoot a bunch of 3-pointers, those long shots, you can get so many offensive rebounds. You just have to try. Like legitimately though, I think that they're a little bit too afraid of that Warriors fast break that everybody's getting back on those 3-pointers. Like that is what it is. But
that could be
when the Mavericks won the championship in the early 2010s.
2011, I believe.
2011?
I believe so.
That's what I think as well. Didn't they have Tyson Chandler tipping everything out to Jason Kidd and to Dirk?
Yep.
I seriously think that they did. They got a lot of tip outs. They're getting no tip outs this time. They're getting no tip outs. There's no Kleber in there. There's no Bird.
He had a couple this last game, but it was not enough. And it was almost like more on the fly, like him coming running in and swatting at some.
Yeah. So they have to get better at that. And it is a little bit of effort based. Now, here's the thing. Reggie Bullock, he played 44 plus minutes. So that it's going to be. So what I'm saying is that if Jason Kidd's out there, look, I'm not even trying to help you, buddy, but because I'm a Warriors fan, but if Reggie Bullock is shooting in the fourth quarter, 3-pointers that you want to count, and he's in his 40s in minutes, it's going to have a less percentage to go.
Why didn't they use more timeouts?
Wow, that's funny that you say that, because Jason Kidd's first question in his presser by the press was, why didn't you call more timeouts? And he said that he said, Jason Kidd, I don't have the exact quote, but he said something like, he's like, wait, it'll come. Wait, it's a little early. It'll come. He said, oh yeah, okay. I can't be wasting my timeouts in the third quarter. They're too valuable. And my thing is that that's where the Warriors get you though, is that they in that exchange of play, when you don't call those timeouts and slow the game down, the Warriors are betting on themselves that in a fair exchange of basketball play, in a bucket for bucket contest, that their guys are going to get more buckets and they're going to prevent more. And honestly,
all it takes is one timeout. And what stands out to me is that point where Otis Porter was dominating both ends of the game, and he actually gave him the lead change both times.
Yeah.
During that point, you call a timeout and you get in your team space and you're like, stop shooting all these threes. Attack the basket, put it in the hole, to the paint.
That's what we were saying too. We were talking about that when the Mavericks were passing up a lot of open. They were wide open. They were pretty wide open threes, but they also could have literally dribbled all the way to the basket and laid it up or dunked it. They were that wide open. I mean, there's nobody even within the half, the half of the half court, pretty much. So there was so much space. And when things do get tougher, when the defense is sort of cinched real tight, like the Warriors do on the perimeter, you have to get those easy buckets. You have to. That actually leads me into, though, PLB, that leads me into my stat. which were points in the paint. The points in the paint were Warriors 62, Mavericks 30.
Wow.
More than a 2-to-1 differential right there. I think that statistic really almost speaks for itself. The Warriors were getting buckets at the hoop. It is easier to get. We're talking about this manually. Put the thing in the hoop, like when all okay. This is easy right here.
Put it in.
Like exactly, like when it goes in, like put it manually. Yeah, one more time. And just boom, dunk it. Don't just go. Oh, it didn't go in, did it? That didn't go in either.
Oh, and we have no one by the hoop to rebound. No one by the hoop.
Exactly. So with our PLB mini hoop and this mini ball, we have demonstrated exactly what to do. So moving forward, goes back to the Mavericks house now. This is, in my opinion, this is still sort of, it's anybody's series, obviously. It's not until to me, it's like until the first team gets that away victory.
I think this is a do or die, dude. If they don't get this game, the series is done.
If it's 3-0, if it's 3-0, and you have to beat the Warriors twice in their house to even get any, I don't know how that's going to happen. And I agree.
I mean, it's a do or die. They got to come out. They got to punish them. They got to try.
You know what I was about to do when you just did? Oh yeah. I was so close, and we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. Everybody wants
like the Mavericks. They really got to come out swinging like Joe Frazier, you know. Even if they're in there with Muhammad Ali of like the 3-point shooting teams, they got to come out swinging. They got to be physical.
Yes, 100%. I think that they really need to up their physicality game. The Warriors.
Luka's doing everything he can. He's being physical. He's playing hurt. So this is not a knock on him. It's everyone that's got to, like Max Keebler, stop standing on the 3-point line.
Well, it's
like Finney and Smith, stop taking wide open threes when you have a wide open lane.
Yeah. Who would you rather? Who would you rather have though? A starting lineup of Jordan of like this is on. I haven't asked you this at all, but like a starting lineup of Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Wiggins, Draymond, and Looney, or would you rather have Brunson, Bullock, Finney Smith, Kleber, and like Bertans?
Well, I think that's you have a championship quality on the other hand.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying is if you take like everybody's like, oh, Luka this and Luka that. Okay, well, we're taking away Luka because this isn't Luka versus the Warriors. I keep on saying that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Mavericks against the Warriors. And then for posterity, I just took away Steph on the Warriors because I consider those two to be like the two best players on the team, even though everything's relative, right? Like the two best players.
But Steph is like the best player.
but they are. But they are. So the thing is like somebody has to step up. Last night I was talking to you. I was like, well, you know, maybe if Luka gets 60 or 70, then some. It's like, bro, I'm literally like
Brunson had almost 30 though. Brunson stepped up.
You're right, and he did, and he was like acting tough too. He was getting, but
besides him and Luka, I think no one else had points in the paint.
Yes, sir. Wow, that's just
maybe Bertans had one dunk. They did say that it was, or maybe it was a jump shot. They're like, oh, that's the first 2-pointer of the playoffs.
Wow. What do you? Hey, I got a question. Did you see like the Mavericks side? Okay, two quick questions. I always ramble about the refs. It was bad and it was jumbled in the first half, but I don't think that they completely lost control of the game. What do you think?
No, there was some horrible calls. That double tech has been a no call.
There were some bad calls.
That was just horrible. I mean, and then what was it? I'm sorry. I think the one where Dinwiddie lay up and got called for the offensive foul. I mean, having your arm up is a natural.
Oh, that. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I don't think that should be a no contact. Basketball has to be a little bit physical, and they're just making the game way too soft. I mean, if you can't even stand up when a guy's like, I mean, Bertans has to stand up on that double tech. You want to stay there and waste 3 seconds trying to get down court and let Damian Lee get like 2, 4, or 5 steps on him and lead the fast break?
No. Definitely. And then there's one more thing that I got a question on, and that's like, what do you think about the do you think the Mavs bench thing is chill? The fact that I forget what his name is, Theo Pinson, he was like wearing a white shirt and was putting his hands up, and his foot was on the court. His foot was passing the threshold.
You know, there are numerous times players like they're on this bench, they're in clothes, but they definitely get on the court too. So whatever to that. Wearing a white shirt.
You can wear whatever you want, right?
Yeah, great mental strategy. I mean, hey, if I'm gonna sit on the bench, you know what? I might actually come out and wear a throwback white, like a jersey that matches theirs, just to be that annoyance.
Yeah, no, definitely. If you can, I mean,
like, it is a mental game. I mean, if you want to talk trash out there, hey, I'm gonna wear your jersey and I'm gonna talk trash. My team's gonna beat yours.
Yes, and my thing about that is that, like, I've always been really, like, I'm pretty sensitive to that type of stuff just as a human being. I'm like a sensitive person as a human being, dude, which is hilarious to say. But dude, I was once asked, when I was like, man, they're playing Steph so hard and stuff. And my buddy JB actually from college was like, dude, you think that Steph hasn't seen this before? You think that Steph can't fight through this, that he hasn't seen this at the AAU circuits with people trying to take his head off? And I was like, exactly. Oh, okay. Like, dude, these guys, and so, like, I think that
they're trained for it. They're professionals, and it comes with the territory.
And I think
that I don't think they should be slandering players like that.
No. But you watch the last
but like, if you want to wear something and like pass it to me, like I've been on the bench and like I'm sure you have, and like give me the ball.
Oh yeah, just a little clap or something like that. Yeah, or just anything. It's really anything because that is what it's about. Getting under it's such a mental game. And basketball, when the ball doesn't go into, it can become such a mental game. Like specifically, at least for me, when the ball doesn't. But which is why I'm just gonna say this real quick is that the game does start. I think that you'll agree with me pretty much on defense, and that's the one thing that you can always control is your effort. That's one thing that I think the Mavs need to dig in on a little bit more.
Which they did great this game. It was really just like, if you look at the overall stats, team stats, they were pretty fairly matched, maybe give or take here and there. But the ones that really stood out were the rebounding, the points, in the paint. You know, I mean, that's really where they lost it. And put that on Jason Kidd, honestly, because he should have called a timeout or two to stop the momentum instead of like letting him play through it. It's the best shooting team the world's ever seen.
Yes.
Why would you give them that chance to come back? Like, you're up 13-16 at some point. Don't give them that chance to make that run. Once it's 10 or you get within 5, call that timeout. Get in your team's face and be like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Play some defense or put the ball in the hole manually, like we've mentioned.
Exactly. When the Warriors started out flat, what did Steve Kerr do? I don't know if you remember.
He calls timeout and he like literally
dug into him. He like dug in. I know that he did because they were flat. And that's like one of the coach's biggest jobs is to have that feel for the team. If they're starting to get flat, you pump them up, or you just ice the other team. Because the Warriors, it's like, dude, if you get into it, if you just look at like the statistics, if you have it's like, if you look at just a running point meter, it would be something like the Mavs 3, and the Warriors only 2. But then as it goes on, it goes like Warriors 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. And the Mavs are like
2 and 1.
Like nothing, 3, and then nothing. And it's like, dude, if you have that running tab after so many zeros and the other team getting 3s and 1s, and it's like, bro, you gotta do something. You gotta
halt that momentum.
Yes, sir.
In the swings. And you know, I think it's funny that Jason Kidd, that you mentioned, he's like, I don't want to waste my timeouts, but he also questioned his team 3-point shot selection. And it's like, well, how are you supposed to get in their face about it if you're not actually doing your job in coaching and using that timeout to coach and be like, hey, I don't like what I'm seeing. Let's switch it up a little bit.
100%. I totally agree. So heck, we're going back at it. I think that we will have something regarding the Eastern Conference Finals. It's 1-1 in Eastern Conference Finals. You got any like quick hits on that? And then we're gonna wrap it up with a nice quote.
Man, they gotta be more consistent. Like, Jimmy Butler needs help.
Yes, exactly.
Talking about they as the Heat.
Yes.
But other than that, like, it's pretty much what you expect. It's a defensive battle.
Yeah.
And
So
it's a game of like the coaching, and that's why it's 1-1.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And my thing.
They're going to come out and swing in the Heat are. They're going to try to take this game. They don't.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Don't want to have it go 1-2 and then have to another game still to let them possibly go up 3-1.
Totally. And my only well, not my only observation. One observation that stands out is like, honestly, the size and length of Boston is like, oh, Marcus Smart's your smallest guy, and he is like, I'm not even kidding.
He's still 6'3", isn't he?
What was that?
Isn't he still like 6'3"?
Yeah, he's like 6'3", and he's a big guy too. So if you see him next to like Draymond, they like almost look, I swear, dude, they like look close to the same size. They're not the same size, but they look close to the same size. Whereas like, you know, they're big. They're big.
And Jason
guys.
Tatum is probably like 6'11".
And they were saying that. They're like, look, Jason Tatum's listed at like 6'8". He's 7'5" at least. He's at least 7'5", 7'11".
He's almost he's about that much shorter than Giannis.
No, seriously, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay. Oh, this was a great PLB. Thank you so much for being on one more time. Pit stops with PLB. Hey, can you leave us? Can you? Yeah. Can you leave us with a little quote if that's cool?
Absolutely. Man. So I just want to leave everyone watching and here at the C Train station. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So get out there, take your shot, shoot for your goals, and don't be afraid to miss and fail. Just get back up there and shoot again.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that, PLB. I love that. And hey, a failure is just another opportunity to succeed again. It's not a failure until you give up. You know what I'm saying?
Just another way you've learned.
Keep on with it in your lives. And when you say that, when everything's wrong, when it seems like you're down, just remember those C-Train words. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can.
Choo choo.
PLB, give me a pound, and we'll see you next time. And we
DJ.
are out.
Much love.